Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Juarison here. Today I'm going to show you how to do speed optimization on your WordPress website with WP Rocket. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so you're going to do speed optimization on this website, which I have built with the Elementor and Astra. So I didn't change anything, I just imported a demo and I'm just going to do speed optimization to check how it's going to be. Alright, so here we are using the WP Rocket. So you all know WP Rocket is very amazing, actually it's superb for speed optimization. Alright, so as WP Rocket is a premium, so its price is also so high. So if you don't have the budget to buy the original license, then you can use the GPL plugin, and you can purchase the GPL plugin from gplhot.xyz. It's a good company who provides original and genuine GPL plugins, right, with a cheap rates, only $3.99. Alright, so they have other plugins and themes as well, so if you want you can purchase from here. Alright, so let's move on to the task. So first of all, we have to install WP Rocket plugin, and we all know how to install WP Rocket. And let's take a look at the current speed score of our site, and that is 67 on mobile. So our first priority is to make 80 plus on mobile, cause most of the visitors comes from mobile, right? Alright, so let's get into the backend and let's move on to the settings and click on WP Rocket. So here you can see some settings. So first of all, we have to enable the case option. So by default, when we install the WP Rocket plugin, it's automatically enable the case options. Alright, so we don't have to do anything here. Or if you want to enable the case for logged in user as well, but that's not the good practice actually, because if you are an administrator and you are going to change something, then you have to clear the case every time, otherwise you can't see in the front end. So that is why you have to disable the case for the logged in users. That's the best practice actually. Alright, so you can separate case files for mobile devices as well, so I think you can do that, but it's not a mandatory. Okay, and let's move on to the next and the most important options, that is file optimization. So here you have to be more careful for minifying the CSS and the JS files. Alright, so if you minify CSS and JS, sometimes maybe in some websites the design maybe or could be broke. Alright, so you have to be more careful about what you are going to do actually. So we'll go and click on Minify CSS files and click on activate Minify CSS options. Alright, so the next options and the next settings is combine CSS files. Enable Minify CSS files to select. Alright, so if you want you can check this also, but there is a warning, this could break things. Yes, exactly. So if you combine the CSS files, maybe sometimes the settings or the design on your website could be broken. Okay, so let's see what happens. So we just click on combine CSS and the Minify CSS is enabled, right? So now let's save the changes and let's check on our front end. and see if our design is okay or not. Alright, this is the best practice. Actually, this is the way you have to do speed optimization. You can do just log into the backend, just install the WordPress plugin, and just check everything, and then you when you go to the front end, then you can see that some design part is broken. So then it will be how to troubleshoot exactly where is the problem. Okay, so you have to go one by one. Okay, let's reload our sites and see if anything break. I don't think anything break. I think everything is fine for now. Yes, superb. So nothing, no issues actually. Okay, so let's get back to the backend again and do the rest of the settings, that is JavaScript files. So we are going to minify the JavaScript and combining the JavaScript and deferred the JavaScript load. Okay, and save changes. Okay, so let me show you one thing, that is when you run your website to test the speed on page speed insights, you will see some opportunities actually what needs to improve. Okay, so first of all, and it's a rate, that means it's very important. So serve images in next gen formats. What is the next gen formats? That is WebP format. Okay, so we have to convert all our JPEG or PNG files into WebP files. So that's how this should be improved. And the next is reduce initial server response time, and this is mainly happens for the themes and plugins optimization. So if you have good plugins or good themes, actually optimized themes, then this time will be reduced. And of course we are going to minify the CSS and JavaScript files. It will affect here as well. And the properly sized images, actually we're using lots of images on our site, but most of the size doesn't have the width and height exactly. So we have to set all the images width and height, but that's not the good practice. That's going to break your website, right? But we'll check how to do this. And the reduced unused CSS, and we're going to reduce the unused CSS. The unused CSS is already reduced because it takes lots of time to reduce, but I will show you how to do that. And the next is eliminate render blocking resources, and this is mainly caused because of the CSS and JS file is not optimized, actually it's not minified. So when we do the minification on the CSS and JS files, it should reduced. Okay, so let's move on to the backend and do our task. So we just check the Minify JavaScript files, and we make it's to load the deferred away and then reload and see what is happening on the front end. So nothing wrong with the front end. I think design is perfect. Alright, so the next options is your media. Okay, so lazy load, yes, you have to check this options. Enable for iframes and videos. Add missing image dimension. This is what I'm going to talk about. I already talked about actually missing image dimension. So if you don't have an image width and height, it could be missing, right? So you can check it out and set changes, so it will add the dimensions. This is very important. You have to check the front end must, because this could break your website front end part. Okay, so let's reload the website and see. So I think nothing is wrong here, everything is fine. Yes, yeah, so nothing wrong. Okay, Alright, so next let's go to preload is nothing. If you can see, everything is already checked when you install the plugin. Okay, so next, advanced roles. So on advanced roles, it's for the developer. So if you are not a good developer, or if you don't have any idea about the advanced rules, you don't need to do anything. Just suppose you want to restrict some pages for optimization, like you don't want to use the cage, you don't use the cookies and something like that, so it's not an important. Let's click on database and clear the database. There is a 15 revisions and 72 transients. So let's click on the save changes. Alright, so okay, so everything is fine, I can see. So that's it for the backend for now, but we have to do some other tasks. As we can see on the Google, that we have to use the next gen formats images, right? So we can do this part with the WP Rocket. We have to use the extra plugin for that. All right, okay, so let's check our page speed now and clear the case. Okay, one more thing, that if you have extra plugins and themes installed that is not necessary, you can just delete all of this. Okay, so I'm deleting all the plugins that is not needed actually. Alright, so and let's go to the themes and check if we have installed any themes that is not activated. Yeah, I can see Woodmart that is installed but not activated, so we can delete that. And others is the default WordPress theme, so I think we can keep those. Okay, so clear the cage or cache, whatever you say, and then check it out. Click on analyze and let's see. Superb. Wow, isn't it amazing? What do you think? It's 86. Wow, it's a huge on mobile purpose. If you get 86 on mobile, that is so much fast, I think. Okay, so on the desktop it is 99, everything is green. That's awesome. And the performance on the mobile is 86, that is also awesome, but it will be much better. And let's see how it is. So reduce unused CSS and properly size images and reduce unused JavaScript. So this three is I think we can reduce the CSS a little bit, I think. Let's move on to the backend and check the WP Rocket and go to the file optimization. Alright, so here you will see optimize CSS delivery, and now it select load CSS asynchronously. So let's click on remove unused CSS. Okay, so activate. So when we click remove unused CSS, it will reduce the unused CSS. It will not reduce everything, all this unused CSS, but it will reduce a lot of CSS that is not needed. So save changes and it's started to work. Okay, so it will take lots of times, I think. so you have to sit and wait for the confirmation. Alright, so let's move on to the next part. What it is working on the backend. We are going to use another plugin for next gen formats. So it's not a good practice to convert all the images one by one. So what we can do, we can convert all the images in one click. Okay, so let's find out a good plugin from the Google, and that is convert images into WebP WordPress plugin. Images to WebP, and this one. Alright, so let's see, they have drills. Okay, and let's see this one. Oh, I think this is good. And let's download the plugins and install the plugins from the backend. Alright, let's click on install now and it will install. Activate the plugin. Superb. And let's see what it is. Here it is. Let's click on, and everything is selected: JPEG, PNG, uploads, and everything is done. And the image quality will be 80%, that is recommended. Okay, and save changes. And click on regenerate all. So it started working, so we have to wait for a while and then we can see the results. So we can see 100% is 100%, and the successfully converted files and the failed or skipped file conversion items. Alright, so let's check what is happening on the front end. Okay, so reload the site. Yes, site is good, there is no issues on the site. And let's move on to the WP Rocket and let's see what is going to the unused CSS file optimization, and then it's still running on behind. Alright, so now let's check the speed again. Let's clear the case first. Alright, and let's check the speed. Oh damn. So we can see the reduced initial server response times have been increased, and the rest of the things is perfect. Like there is, so all the images have been converted into the next gen formats. So that settings is gone, right? So we have successful for that options, and let's focus on the reduced initial server response time. So why it is increasing? All right, so let's see. check the load CSS asynchronously again and save changes. Alright, and let's click on analyze. Just we're going to troubleshoot what is going on the back end, right? So what is the main reason for increasing the response time? 76. What is okay? So we can see the server response time is decreased, but still it's high. Okay, so we have to go back and check the process again. So if you can reduce the server response time, then our website will be fine. I think because everything else is good. Okay, so now I'm sorry, let's check the plugins. That is WebP converted. Let's deactivate the plugin because I think after installing this plugin our website speeds it's going to down. So let's check it out again and see. So I'm just trying to show you how to troubleshoot the website speed optimization for, like, you were just installing the plugins and doing the optimization, but end of the result you will see that nothing has improved. So how you can get back and see what is the actual issues, and the result is on your screen, and you can see the performance is 90 plus on mobile. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable, right? But the performance for the desktop is going down. Server response time and serve images in next gen formats. Alright, so for the mobile, serve image in next gen formats 1.2 seconds, reduced unused CSS, properly sized images, reduce JavaScript. Okay, so what is going on for the desktop? 0.74 second. Alright, so everything is good, and let's check and just delete the plugin. So we just see that this plugin is creating the issues, right? So when we delete that, the speed for the mobile is increased, but for the desktop the speed decreased. So we have to see again what is going on the backend. Okay, so the mobile performance is 87 and the desktop is 99. Alright, so this plugin is making the issues for us. Okay, so we saw that we can't use that plugin, otherwise our website space just going down. Okay, so whether we have to use another plugin, I mean we have to try another plugin, or we have to convert image one by one, but that is a lots of plugin, lots of images actually, so we can't do that, right? So let's check the another plugin. What is images to WebP? Let's check this one. So I'm going to show you every steps of what I'm trying to do, okay? So then you can understand better and you can take your steps. What is the plugin? Image to web? I think this one. Install now and let's see what happens. Okay, so let's go to the settings. No, where it is. Oh, where it is. Okay, images to WebP, 80% JPEG, and done. Convert existing images. Alright. Okay, so we have to select actually. Okay, my friend, so we can see that everything is done and all the images has been converted properly. So now let's check the front end and see if there is an issues. I think there is no issues in the front end. And let's go to the speed results page and click on analyze. And let's see what is going to be happened. Superb. So you can see on the mobile it's 95% and on the desktop it's 99. Wow, unbelievable. So that's the result that we expected actually. Alright, so you can see everything is gone, right? Everything is perfect. Okay, so that's how actually you have to do speed optimization. That's how you have to take the steps, every steps. When you go to do further, then you have to check on the front end as well as the speed results when you are changing the settings or you are doing an actions, right? So you don't do all the actions at a time and check that, so it will be hard to find what is actually if it makes an issues. Like we already seen that there is lots of issues. We have installed a plugin and the speed just slow down, and we just install that uninstall that plugin and install the new one. So that's how you have to troubleshoot the problems. All right, so don't do all the settings, don't just on all the settings at a time and then go to the front end and check the results, and then you see, oh no, your website just slow it down more than it before, and then you will be confused which settings exactly I have to change, right? So you have to check one by one and follow the next step, right? So that's how you can get the highest speed result of your WordPress website. So I think you have learned lots of things, and thank you for watching the video, and please hit subscribe, like and share for supporting me. Thanks a lot. We'll see you on the next video.